Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to the Persistence Payoff Show. We're here on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm your host, Kimberly Schafer. This show is focused on talking with people about persistence, about their own experiences with persistence and learning from each other. I'm on my own persistence journey. I am a first-time entrepreneur and inventor. I invented the ring thing, which is a waterproof patented ring holder, and I'm learning about persistence every day. I'm very excited to welcome back to the show Glenda Benevides today. Glenda is a Grammy-nominated singer. She's an award-winning songwriter, a multi-album recording artist. She's the author of several books. She's a retreat organizer and a global badass. So please welcome Glenda Benevides to the show.
That's awesome. Thank you. Good to be here, actually. Yeah.
It's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
So, it's funny. I was thinking about you over the weekend because I was watching the Oscars. And you were nominated for a Grammy Award and went to the Grammys, I believe, last year.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to know, when you're watching shows like that, now award shows, having been at one, do you look at them differently? Do you just have a different filter that you see those shows with now?
Actually, that's a really great question, because I do. This is the first year that I actually watched the Oscars. And I was sitting there going, oh, all the work that goes into not only the rehearsals and the coordination and putting it together and making it smooth, and, and then just everybody, the coordination is off the charts. Like, I can't even imagine. It's like a whole new level of organization. It's phenomenal. I mean, you kind of grasp it, but then when you're actually there, or you're part of a red carpet, or you're walking in, or you're just standing in line to get your car's pulling up, whatever, it's really, really interesting how it all coordinates. And of course they've been doing it for years. So, but yeah, I thought it was wonderful. And I definitely look with different eyes, not as I guess I am looking as someone from the outside, like being entertained, but I'm also understanding what it takes to really put that together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, for those of us watching at home who don't have that insight, it just looks like this seamless.
It's easy. They just showed up. It happened.
That's right. Yes.
No.
Yes. And I believe that now we're in a new season for music to be considered for next year's Grammy Awards. And I'm curious to know, do you have any submissions? Do you have any music that you're hoping will be Grammy nominated?
I do. And thank you for asking. I'm so excited because we are at 250 years of the Declaration of Independence, of us, separating. And it's a pretty energetically powerful year. And I decided that well, actually not just decided, but I decided I was going to put it on an album called Cypress Moon that's going to be submitted this year. But I actually wrote a song on there for the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere and the other two guys, Dawes, and I think, who was the other guy? I can't remember his name. Anyway, the three guys, they got on the horses and they rode and they let people know in the villages, hey, guess what? The British are coming. They're heading on their way to Concord, because they had stored ammunition there. And so the British were like, we're going to go get that. So it was a pretty significant ride. And I thought, gosh, I learned all of that when I was going back and forth with my music partner, Gene Williams. We were working on music then, and I thought, I should really check out what's going on, in Massachusetts, and there was, oh my God, a plethora of history, and it's all still alive, and it's all really, really poignant. And I jumped in. I went to Concord. I saw the where the North Bridge is, where the first skirmish actually happened. I actually watched them read on July 4th the Declaration of Independence there, like in costume, out loud. There was like, I don't know, probably like 200, 300 people there. But it was really, really special for me. And I was so moved by all of that. I just thought, I got to write a song.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And it's called I Ride. And it's called I Ride. And it's going to be on the album. We are going to release it as a single coming up in probably June, April or June. So
that is fantastic. And then once you've gotten it out there, how does it go up for consideration for other people to consider?
So how this works is, like any club, the Recording Academy is made up of other artists that are in this group. And so that's who's going to vote, who is going to have consideration for this song, this album, whatever, in whatever category. So that's how that happens. I will share it. I will release it as a single for, everybody else to listen if they want, probably on my website or, possibly Spotify. I'm thinking about moving off of there because nobody makes any money. The platforms make the money. Anyway, so I'm that's how that goes. So yeah, I think the best way, I think I'm really looking at it is, if you love an artist or you're interested in their music, I would say go to their website, go to hopefully they have their music on their website, not just on platforms. Go to places where you could actually give them money, like directly. Like, so for example, last year I had someone jump on, because I had my music up on Bandcamp too. So Bandcamp, you can actually set your price. So it's 99 cents or whatever you want to donate. And last year I got 2 people donating $50 for that single, and so that was just really, that was really honoring my spirit. Whereas, I can have 60,000 plays on Spotify and nobody cares. Maybe I'll get, $2, maybe. Yeah.
That's so interesting. And again, for those of us who aren't in the industry, you would never know that. That's completely new to me. And it makes perfect sense. And
that's the best thing you can do to honor an artist, really, is find them on their website or go to somewhere like where you can actually download it and support them. Yeah. Not just stream it.
Yeah. That's such good advice and really important, because I think especially now as our funding for the arts is in deep jeopardy, everything we can do to support artists matters.
That's right. And, and just like every platform, every YouTube channel says, please like and subscribe. Well, the same thing with artists, please pass it around, share it. If its song moves you and you find that you love that artist, let your friends know. Take 5 minutes out of your day, 5, and just say, go on your Instagram, whatever, your Facebook, spend just like 5 to 10 minutes max and just say, hey, listen to this artist. I love them. Share it. Like, seriously, it really does work if we do that for each other. Mm-hmm.
That is such great advice. Thank you for that. I will personally take that on as well and do that. It's not something that's in the forefront of my mind. So I
know, right? Mm-hmm. Me neither.
Well, I'm curious to know, because you are so multi-talented. You're an author, you are an altruist, you do so many things. how do you manage everything? Like, if you're working on a book and you're working on music at the same time, or do you prioritize things and say, okay, for the next month, I'm just writing or I'm just doing music? Or how do you balance all of that?
I think really you need to find out how you work, but ultimately you have to learn to schedule. You really have to learn to schedule your life. And I mean scheduling not only, okay, I'm getting up at 7, I'm going to stretch, I'm going to work out, I'm going to take my kids to whatever, and then I'm going to drop them off, I'm going to come home, and it's going to be, and then in your schedule says me time. And then whatever is in me time is that. So it could be a meditation, could be yoga, could be whatever, right? It could be whatever you like. You want to read, just sit there and read. Don't do anything else. And then, next on your schedule, follow that, pay bills, do this, do that. And then there's another a section maybe of your day that you block out to say, okay, I'm going to write. So, and I'm going to do 15-minute intervals or something like that, whatever. Or I'm going to do chapter by chapter, however it works for you, but just do it, put it in time, and then set an alarm so you don't stay too long or not go back to it, that kind of thing. I have schedules all day long, and that frees me up. You see, I'm free then. I don't have to think about it. I had a girlfriend that used to think like she kept everything in her mind. I was like, why are you doing that? Your brain is going to explode. So just put things in your calendar, set alarms, and then just do it. And if you don't want to, and you don't feel like it, or there's something wrong in that moment, move it, reschedule it, and give yourself a break. Yeah.
Well, this is so interesting to listen to and think about, because, this show is focused on persistence, and there's a level of persistence in each of those things. Like, you have to prioritize things and then actually do it and persist with, even when things are tough or you don't want to.
Absolutely. And I think that's exactly what this show is about, is persistence. And it's also your purpose. So if you have something that you love and that is your purpose, you then do that, and then make time for it. And that will help keep you coordinated. It'll help keep you in line, and then work with yourself within working with that schedule. So if let's say an emergency happened, your kids, or like something happened at school, you got to go pick them up. Well, that was the time that you were going to write, so just move it, just quickly move it, and get in your car and go get them. Move it. It's that simple. It's that simple, really.
Yeah, it's so true. We can overthink things. Certainly speaking for myself, it's easy to overthink things and make them more complicated. And
especially if you're living more in a creative mindset too. I know a lot of artists, creative, it's like, well, you got to be creative, but you also have to, if you're going to move forward with anything, and I think this, Kimberly, you've really got to you've got to have schedules. I mean, otherwise you and I wouldn't be talking. Right?
Yes.
You wouldn't have your show.
That's a very good point. Yes. Yes. And, I also have a question about creativity and creatives, because so often people say, well, I don't have the talent for that, right? I don't have the musical talent. I don't have the writing talent. And I think about, in sports, you hear all of these stories about athletes who may not have been born with a lot of natural talent. Like, there was a whole documentary about Jeremy Lin, who was an average athlete, but he worked from his childhood practicing, and he went on to have, I think, more than a 15-year-long career in the NBA because he stuck with it. Yeah. And do you feel like in music and in writing that it's the same, or do you think that artists need to have a little bit more natural talent?
I'm of two minds on that. I think that we all have a gift. And I think sometimes they need to be developed, and sometimes they're natural, but you have to have persistence with it. So, like, for example, I've always sang since a child, and then I just followed the trail of singing and realized at some point that's what I wanted to do for my career. And then it was a puzzle to untangle as I went along in life. And what was always there was persistence, and also being able to step back and really look inside yourself and really see, is this right for me now? Is this right for me now? Is this right for me now? And obviously, I think that, yeah, if you're really passionate about that, just like that, the athlete was, he just kept on, kept on, kept on, kept on, and had goals and really got clear that he wanted to be the best at what he was doing. And I think that's a part of it too. I also think sometimes it's easier, as I know, when you do have a talent, to like not exercise it or work it, or sometimes it gets to be a little challenging, to keep yourself in line. But I think both works. Either one. You've got the talent or you don't. You just have to dig into what really is important.
Yes, that's a great point. I totally agree with that. And I'm really interested and so impressed in how you keep growing and keep doing new things. And I believe you have a new book that you're working on, and then you have the Soulfire experience. And so I would just love to hear about both of those, and also just how it came to be.
Yeah, thanks. Soul on Fire is a multimedia live journey that ignites the human spirit. So for me, what that is I take original music. I've created these cinematic visuals. There's a powerful storytelling component. We do reflective moments, and then like we explore, courage, confidence, clarity, commitment, community. So we explore those things in my journey of about an hour and a half, I think is what it is. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is, a live experience. So you have to come and experience it. You can't see it online. It's not, is not just a performance. It's not a TED Talk. It's not a workshop. It's all of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And people must come away so inspired.
Thus far, it's been really good. I've got another an event on the 21st, so we'll see how that happens. I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
Yeah, and everybody gets a gift bag, and we have journals in the gift bag, and just different things. So it's fun, but it's also has this uplifting, deepening, also questioning. I also ask questions, deeper questions with people to, have them ignite their own fire. What is it inside of you that you're ignoring or avoiding or, trying to make happen and it's not happening? You know what I'm saying? So we get to see these questions. I have questions that come up on the screen, and then we dig into it. So privately, everybody gets to go within and write in their journal. So not out loud necessarily. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And how often do you do that?
I'm looking to do it more, actually. Maybe twice a month would be good. And I want to tour it. I think this would be important. Doing a wonderful, so this Saturday is the nonprofit. It's Wellness Visions here in Richmond, California. So that's a nonprofit that I'm doing this for. So that'll be fun. Yeah. So it's nonprofits, retreats, and corporations. That's what I go into.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
so have you learned something about yourself through doing this?
Yeah, that I make things really complicated. I've been developing this show for over a year. I had no idea. I was like, really? It's pretty complicated because I really sat back and I really asked the question to myself, how can I take music and singing, not just as a concert, and how can I take transformation and the things that I've learned and the things that I find poignant and that helps people really reflect on their own inner desires, passions, stops, whatever in life, and to be able to just kind of dig into that. But I don't want to be, I said to myself, I don't want to be, a seminar leader. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be a coach. It's like, oh no. And so I put all these pieces, and I thought, oh, I love all this. How do I put this all together in one experience? And boy, did I cut off. I was like, well, that's a lot. So it's been, plus I've got visuals. I've got wonderful testimonials that come up, and it's cinematic, and it's like, oh my Lord. And so, wow, I'm here. So it's pretty wild, but it's wonderful, and it's action packed, it's impactful. So that was the intention. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it sounds fantastic. And I'm curious, as a performer, so you're used to singing in front of people, and also the Soulfire experience. Do you get nervous before you go on stage?
I always get a little nervous, I think. It's not, I think the point is that you just really want to do your best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, there's different reasons to get nervous. There's, if I'm not well practiced, or, I haven't memorized the song. Oh yeah, I'm nervous. Cause but that's the point, is to not put yourself in that position. You put yourself in a position where you're well rehearsed, well studied, and then you could come out and just be free and open up and allow the energy and the spirit to come through. That's where the magic happens inside of any kind of performance, whether it be TED Talk, speaking, whatever. We've all been there, right? We've all been in that position. We've all seen people in that position, and you feel really uncomfortable for them because they are, they're in their head. You don't want to be in your head. You want to be in your heart, and you want to be in spirit. So you want to be able to share that energy with everybody, and that energy helps guide them to their energy, and then they get to, get 100% benefit. And that's really where you want to be. So, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that is it's an art and a skill to get out of our heads and into our hearts.
Practice. Persistence. Practice.
Yep. That's right. Yes. Yep. And how, as a songwriter, how does inspiration come to you? Like, could it, like you described the song about the
I ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will ride. And that process, do you also have songs that just come to you, like something will happen and you'll just be like, oh my gosh, I've got to write. I'm feeling something. I've got to get this on paper.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm pretty intentional when it comes to songwriting. So, and I'm pretty flexible. So like there'll be catchphrases, or there'll be lines. I'll look at idioms. And I'll, like, for example, I wrote another song, which will be on the Cypress Moon album or EP. I'm not sure yet. And it's called If the Creek Don't Rise. So I was like, that's a great line. If the creek don't rise and the levee holds, gonna break these chains, gonna free my soul. So I was just like, oh, I mean, that's what came after. But I just said, if the creek don't rise, and the rest came. It's like, yeah.
Yes.
So that's one way. Everybody has their own way. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
I love that. And do you do much of your music in partnership with others, or more solo?
Both. You sometimes you got to start with solo. So like if I'm going to write something, I write by myself. I tend to just write. I've never done a group, like, let's get together and write. I've never done that. I do have a music partner that I do co-write with, music and lyrics sometimes. Like the other day I was working on I Ride. There was just one line that just wasn't hitting. And Gene comes in from the other room. He goes, I got it. It's like, blood. It's like, so I was trying to be clever and say red on your coat, meaning the red coats, blue at your throat, meaning the blue coats, right? From that time period, you guys. And I got it. I was clever. I was being clever. Red, blue coats. Yeah. Anyway, but no, who's going to get it, right? And then Gene comes in, he goes, no. It's blood on your coat. blue at your throat. Brothers at dusk, we all stand one for all. God, I was like, that's it. So
Yeah.
things like that happen, you know,
Yeah.
because I was settled on what I wrote. And then he's just like, that's not hitting. I don't know if people will really understand that, you know, you kind of have to be a person of history or something, you know. I was like, okay, stop being so clever. Try to be clever. Silly.
That's so interesting. Well, and also for you to be open to that input, because I think when for me at least, sometimes if I'm creating something and I see this in other people,
Yeah.
you get an ownership of it, right? And it's like, oh, I don't want any ideas because
Totally.
it's mine, it's mine. And the idea that you would be open to that and take it and make it better is a great testament to you, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Well, at first it's like, you know, it's like he was like, I don't think this fits, and I was like, you know what, you need to just go away because I love my song, and then that's how it starts, right inside me. But when he sorted it out, he came in, and when he told me, I heard the truth. Not just change it or it's wrong or whatever. It was something's not right here. And then I allowed him to go figure out what was not right because I was fine the way it was, you see. So that's how like partnerships happen, because you're sitting there going, yeah, I think this is right. I wrote this way. I'm not double overthinking it. And then, but somebody outside of me said, I think could be better. It could, you know, there's something that's not sitting right. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then he went off and then he sorted it out and then he presented it to me. And I have enough of an ear where I go, that's correct. We're changing this. That's kind of how that works. Yeah.
Yes. And that must be such a satisfying process, you know, to know that you're getting into the good stuff. You're getting it right.
Yeah. When it goes ding, you know, you're like, oh my God, that's really it, you know. And and I'm a slave to the song. So, you know, to me, the song is the story. It's the creation. It's the message, you know. That's what's important, not me, not my ego, not this, not that, you know. It is the song is what's telling you what it wants. So, you know, if it's, you know, I think for anybody, I don't think anybody should jump around and go, whatever you want, no, you know, don't do that. But, you know, of course, have a listen to what people want to share with you and then discern it for yourself. Try it on, see if it fits. If it doesn't, don't even give it any mind, you know, let it go. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And that takes a lot of confidence, I think, and being grounded in the truth, you know.
Yeah.
What I guess the word I'm searching for is not having an ego about it.
Yeah. You have to get out of the way. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. And I remember on my song Change, I wrote that back in 1991, I think. And there's a line, it says, erase the garbage from your mind and be the wings of change. That was the line that I had in 91, I think it was. And I think I played it for a friend and he was like, garbage? You can't say garbage. And I was like, yeah, I can, because that's what I'm talking about. It's garbage, you know? And sometimes you need to say stuff like that, you know? And of course, I made it sound good. So garbage sounds good. It's like, ooh, garbage. Erase the garbage from your mind. Be the wings of change, right? You can say, erase the naughty thoughts from your mind. No. Erase the bad thoughts from your mind. No. It's not, sometimes it needs an impact. You know? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's part of being an author or a songwriter. It's like, choose your words. Words have meaning. Words have vibration. Words will tell you the story, you know? So anyway, that's what I would think.
You know, when you just were talking about words having vibration, it made me think about some interviews I've heard with Dr. Maya Angelou, who would talk about she wouldn't let people say certain words in her house because she didn't want the words to have that energy stuck on her walls.
Smart.
And yeah, it's really, and words are very powerful. And
words and what you see too. Being the steward of your mind is a lot of work, because we've got stuff and baggage from the past, from our parents, from our friends, that seep in that you don't know. And that's why, I consistently don't watch propaganda. I consistently will not watch, news, because it's been proven over and over and over again that, it is owned by corporations. It's owned by people that want you to know what they want you to know. And it's across the board. So I would rather watch something like this. This is real people having real conversations about their experience, their thing. And that's where you want to get your information. And then of course you definitely want to try it all on. Somebody could tell you something and you're like, okay, well, let me check that out. Let me do my research on that. So I think this is a more powerful platform than just being on CNN or Fox or some, wretched thing, just negative entertainment. Who needs that?
Yeah. No,
Right?
and we're getting it directly from the source. Like we're hearing this directly from you, and we're having a direct conversation between us. There's no middle person.
Yeah, exactly. And not just an idea. It's like, this is boots on the ground, my experience or whatever. But, again, take it for what it's worth, do your research, go have your own experience.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's worth everything. I totally agree.
Right.
Yes. And, while we're talking about your work, I want to give also the opportunity to put your website up really quickly.
Great. Thank you. Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And just to let people know too, it's like, every time you buy something on my website, whether it be my music or my books or, clothing, I have a clothing line on there too. I donate to trees. I plant a tree for you. So I take $1 off of each item and jump on every month and plant some trees for everybody, because I can see who buys and I plant for them. But so that's the one thing I do. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. We did win for the Four Shades of Blue album. I did with a European guy from Austria, and he's a lovely man. His name is Guy, and we did. It's called Four Shades of Blue, and with two other fabulous singer-songwriters. And so we this year we won for World Entertainment Awards, and that's the Four Shades of Blue. So, and we were also in Grammys last year, but we did win this year for Four Shades of Blue. So I think it's at the top. So we're excited. Best Blues album. I'm so delighted about that. We're moving right along.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be acknowledged for the work that you do. And I know everyone feels that way, and everyone should be acknowledged for their effort, their persistence, their purpose in life. We should all be supporting each other. That's where the power is. And we've got to call it all back.
Yes, that's right. Well, and also the idea that you are giving back in the planting of trees is amazing. And where do you plant them?
The company is called One Tree Planted. They're out of Vermont. And I go on their site. I'm an ambassador for them. And I go on their site. And what I do is I go, okay, what area do I want to plant in? So I have certain loves, like Washington State. I've planted in, of course, England a lot. It's my favorite country. Scotland, where they need trees, and where else? California, Scotland, Washington. Yeah, probably right now those 3 states that needs the most help right now. So in my world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. So that's more reason for people to come and buy from your website. Not only are they directly supporting your work, but there's also this benefit for all of us to have these trees planted.
Exactly. And it's neat. And I always say too, if you buy something and you send me an email saying, hey, would you plant in Costa Rica for me? I'll do it. would you plant in, I don't know, Massachusetts? I don't know, wherever else they have. I stay
Yeah.
pretty focused on those 3 areas just because I'm a West Coast gal. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, speaking as someone who lives in San Diego, I understand that.
Okay.
So
Yes. Yes.
like,
Yes. Yes.
yes. Well, our time today has flown by. This has been so
Awesome.
interesting to talk with you. But
Awesome. Thank
before we
you.
let you, thank you. But before we let you go, I want to ask you to please tell people how they can connect with you and how can they find you and your work.
Great. Yeah. You can just go to my website. I'm everywhere. So if you put my name in there, Glenda Benevides, I'll pop up everywhere. But the easiest way is Glenda Music, as you can see on the screen. GlendaMusic.com takes you right there. You can see the Soul on Fire stuff. You can see where my books are. You can actually watch this program once it's up and ready to go. I'll have a link to it inside my website, so you'll be able to watch and share and stuff. Subscribe.
Definitely. Definitely. And help us get some of those trees planted too.
Yeah, get some trees planted, get some, like I've got this wonderful t-shirt says Unbreakable on it. So it's one of my songs. And, it's like, I'd love that. I'm unbreakable.
Yes.
What a power statement is that, right?
Yes.
So yeah, those, and I got mugs. I got all kinds of fun stuff on there. So hopefully you can go and peruse and, drop me a line, say, hey, and, let me know where you want to plant a tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that message on the t-shirts, Unbreakable. I think that's really, you can think it and say it and express it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I agree. Well, my gosh, thank you so much for being here today. This is just a pleasure and an honor. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Kimberly. I feel the same way about you too. You're just a lovely, bright star. So thanks for sharing your light with everybody, and we'll just keep on making a difference. And I love your show.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
And what a wonderful conversation. I adore talking with Glenda. I think she's accomplished so much and is accomplishing so much. So it's really inspirational. I always end every show with a quote about persistence. And today's quote is from Jim Watkins, who said, "A river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence." And I think that impacts all of our work and all of our lives. Like the way that we make a difference and the way we make an impact is not necessarily through brute force, but through our persistence and our continued effort. So I encourage all of you to continue on. If you would like to reach me, you can find me on my website at ringthing.com. My email is kimberly@ringthing.com. And we are here on the USA Global TV and Radio Network every other Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Time live. And you can watch anytime on the USA Global TV and Radio YouTube channel. So thank you so much for being here. And I'd like to thank Roland Friedel, our producer today, and Dr. Jacqueline Kerbick, who's the founder of USA Global TV and Radio. Thank you so much and have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.